especially physical, intimate affections. It was so unbelievable. It was really hypocritical. He just felt really moved by himself. It gave him this egotistical air. Just such a silly and also like really lazy thing to do. We are losing the plot so much. We need to get over ourselves, seriously. Hi loves, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Intianu. I go by the Chronicle Reader on this channel where we talk about books and sometimes dramas. So today I want to share my final thoughts on Blossoms of Power that has already finished airing, and my thoughts in general about a highly anticipated currently airing drama, Overdue. Without further ado, let's get into it. I have already shared my first impressions, expectations, in a lot of detail for Blossoms of Power. Blossoms of Power summarily is a historical Chinese drama. It follows this woman, Shen Shi He, but there is like a lot of confusion or like mystery around who she actually is, because the drama starts off showing a noble woman who takes her life, and then we see Shen Shi He also being murdered, and then it kind of meets on this sort of mystical bridge, and it kind of like soul swap, soul merge goes on. It's never really explained. She is now the Northwest Commandery Princess. Her family holds military and I think civil power in the Northwest. And so she comes to the Imperial City at the start of this drama to choose a husband from among the many imperial princes. There is a story to be developed, a romantic one, between her and the crown prince. The crown prince was poisoned when he was little. He's known as like really sickly, doesn't have any amount of time to live actually, but he also is like very scheming behind the scenes. When you look at this drama on my drama list, I think we have art directors, composers that are credited, music composers. I rarely see that actually for dramas. Usually it's just like the director, the scriptwriter, then sometimes they credit the producer depending on who the producer is. I want to say this is my first time seeing, I know I see costume designers sometimes, but I can't really say if I've ever seen like art directors or like music composers credited before. So it makes me think that a lot of effort was put into those aspects. And I want to say that those efforts really, really, really paid out for the sake of this drama, because it was the one thing that kept me kind of watching up to episode 30. But I did share some expectations with you guys about this drama, and safe to say none of them were actually met. First things first, the plot of this drama has no direction, but it's like very convenient. I felt like we were just jumping around. Started off as being a drama about this woman choosing between a couple princes, of which I was like, first of all, I don't know this woman, I don't care about her. Never really did come to care about her outside of the sense of just knowing that she's the main character of the story. But it also didn't help that this started off as a marriage selection and then ended up being some noble political aspiration, something. I felt like we just had so many choppy things kind of coming together, each on their own individually would make so much sense. I don't know how to explain it without spoiling it, but I just wanted to know that it was all very child's play. Everything felt without foundation. Sometimes certain scenes would come up, and I mean, they'd be really beautiful to look at, but I just wouldn't feel anything. Which gets me to my second point, is that the romance was equally as bland for one major reason, but another minor reason why the romance was bland is that it felt so convenient, in that he just seemed to be there every single time. There was never a moment where the crown prince failed her. And I don't know, it just felt so convenient. Every single time a problem was about to come up, something convenient would just come up. Like, this drama is so convenient, it is boring. I never once watched this drama and had a time where I was just like, oh my god, what is going to happen next? It is boring. Any single problem that comes up, either she solves it right away, or somehow the crown prince has been scheming in preparation for this problem beforehand and lets her know, and then it kind of just all works together magically. Ugh, I hated it so much. But another thing about this romance that I really did not like is the crown prince in and of himself. So in my previous video, I talked about how he was one of like the main reasons I actually decided to continue watching this drama and not DNF it at the point where I filmed that video, because even though I couldn't really understand why he was in love with her, I found his antics endearing. Well, I just want to tell you guys that after they got married, I was just like, this is a bit like boundaries. He's presenting this very noble front. Before they get married, they come to this agreement. He's like, oh, I really like you. She's like, I don't like you. I want to use you for protecting my family in the Northwest and also myself in court here, and I'm choosing you for all these different things you can provide to me. And he's like, you know what, it hurts to hear, but fine. If you don't like me, I won't feel resentment towards you. It's because I haven't done enough. Really nice to hear. But then they get married, and his actions, honestly, they really gave me the ick. It gets to a point, she puts a bell between them on a string on a bed. They are married at this point. I just hated this. Kind of separate them to prevent him from touching her pretty much as they're sleeping. And he is constantly trying to cross that line after having said he is fine with her not liking him, after presenting this very noble front of unconditional selfless love. Even their first kiss where she's in the bathtub and she's like, get out, like I felt so deeply uncomfortable in that scene, because now they're married, and like even if she's saying no, and I mean she has to struggle for a bit, and he's like, okay, fine. But there is a lot of pressure that comes with being married. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it was different from when they were not yet married. But they got married after he said he knows she's doing this for purely political reasons. But he's always like trying to get close to her, trying to get kind of like intimate with her in ways I did not like. Like I did not like it. And then it just made me really annoyed by his character, because the whole time it just felt like he was moved by himself. So he's been saying all these noble things about his selfless love for her, but then when he really gets down to it, he wants to show off in front of, the other love rival, treating her like a trophy. If you ask me, felt like he was somebody that was mostly just moved by himself and really not by his love for her. There's this one scene where he goes through this great pain, and I feel like at the end of the day, you can kind of say he went through that because of her, even though she wasn't aware of it, even though she didn't ask him for it. And like that's the first time he actively crosses the line. And I don't really like this messaging in romance dramas where it's like, what more could you want? If this person really likes you and they're doing everything for you, so it just makes sense that you will be worn down with time. I really don't like it. Like, there is a very harmful aspect to that message. As if to add to my concerns about this aspect of the romance, in quotes, for lack of a better word, there are comments under a promotional clip on Instagram for this drama. A clip where they are both on the bed to get string tied between them with a bell. So when he attempts to cross the line, she is awakened to voice her dissent. In this clip, he is actively trying to kiss her, despite her actively saying no, and even going so far to use her hands to cover her mouth. If you asked me to interpret her look in this scene, I would tell you that at worst she looks scared, and at the very least she looks largely uncomfortable here too. But these are the comments. In the end, she has to give up. Give up what? Her autonomy, her rejection of the physical advances of a man who hypocritically at this point entered a marriage with her, knowing full well there was no affection on her part, and even agreed to keep things purely platonic. What exactly is she giving up? He's like a boy with a toy, and the toy in question is what? Or who? She should loosen up. The crown prince is dying too. And at what point exactly are we factoring her feelings, her safety, and her security into the equation? Because yes, he is perfect on paper, but at this moment and many other moments in the drama, he is quite literally forcing himself on her. Let's just call it what it is at this point. And honestly, I can't bring myself to hee-hee-ha about it and go on about my day like it's nothing. Because what on earth is this romantic storyline in the big year of 2026? Moving on. The fifth prince in this drama, which I hate how they treated his character act, like that was the last straw for me as to why I DNF this drama. Because why? Considering that he was never particularly a villain towards any of them, except for the fact that he just really suspected that she was his wife, which in theory we all know that she is. I remember the crown prince one time being to the fifth prince, like, she was never yours, so don't act like you lost her. But then he'd get heartbroken whenever she doesn't give him the attention he wants. And it's like, you're doing the exact same thing. Like, the only difference between two of you right now, and the only reason why she's like falling for you, is because you are the main character of this story, right? Because I feel like even the fifth prince, when he was married to the noble woman, was way more respectful of her. You know, I married you for the sake of my family, and I don't love you. He wasn't trying to impose on her, especially physical, intimate affections. It was so unbelievable. It was really hypocritical. He just felt really moved by himself. He gave him this very egotistical air, and I just did not like it. Just like, you know what? I had high expectations for these things. None of them really delivered in any way. I don't see why I need to continue spending my data watching it. So I dropped it. And honestly, I haven't lost a single wink of sleep over it. That's Blossoms of Horror for me. Moving on to the next drama. This was highly anticipated. Actually, you guys, I saw something on Twitter. Someone was like, if somebody uses the word Reuters, it shows that they're a BBC drama fan. And then they refuse to explain why. Apparently, there's something wrong with the word. If you guys know all about that, please let me know down in the comments. But for today, I'm going to use the word, but I think their reuters were like everywhere when this drama was. I just feel like if you're on C drama tweets, most especially, you would have been seeing all the viral clips that came from when this drama was filming. So yeah, the drama in question is Overdue. It is a Republican drama. It's all of 32 episodes. It's led by Wang Chuan and Zhang Ling. Oh, you guys, tell me why the other day. Just to like talk about this because it's such a silly thing to say. I heard someone say, or I saw that someone said that apparently Jang is stuck with ugly female leads, and we're citing Manchuran and Shirohan. I was like, I'm sorry, it's ugly because this absolutely, and it's not even like a like, oh, everybody is pretty, everybody has their own beauty kind of thing. I mean, these are goddesses we're speaking about right now. For this drama step airing, what we knew was that Zhang Linghe's character, Morong Chinyi, and Wang Churan's character, Ren Susu, they have this young love type thing, but later on they meet, they're separated, then they meet some years down the line, and she is his sister-in-law, his elder brother's wife to be. And so, well, I didn't know it was going to be wife to be. I thought they were going to be married. I just heard the word sister-in-law thrown around. And then with all the trailers and like teasers of like them pointing guns at each other, them pointing knives at each other, them arguing, I was like, this drama is going to be so stressful because I'm a huge fan of the both of them. And I was really scared. Oh my god, you guys, you don't know how scared I was. I was so scared for Overdue because first of all, I just thought it was going to be really dark, very heavy because that's your sister-in-law. How are we going to, get through that? It's not all those, oh, we are cousins, but we're not really cousins, oh, we are siblings, but we're not really siblings. No, not that. This is your actual sister-in-law. So I was really worried that it was going to be like very, very dark. And I feel like I shouldn't have been. I was so scared for what this drama was going to be. And then there's just the aspect of the fact that if it's not a short drama, I have never once ever finished a Republican Chinese drama. So I remember when it was airing and I was getting really pumped for it. Chung Lei's Republican drama, the one with Jelly Lean, aired, and then I was watching that, and then I inevitably DNF'd that, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm really looking forward to Overdue. What's gonna happen? So, if you have ever had those concerns, I am pleased to report to you, you are gonna be fine. You are gonna be fine. This has to be like the brightest in terms of colors Republican drama I have seen. And then the storyline is, we'll talk about it, but it's not really dark, like dark romance, like I thought it was going to be, which is just a huge relief for me. My heart was up here because I really wanted to watch this drama. These are actors and actresses I really like. They looked really good in the theater, their outfits and all. And I always just think Jang Ling Ho looks absolutely amazing when he's not wearing a wig. He looked good in Pursuit of Jade, but in my mind, he's one of the exceptions to the rule where I think every single man needs to be, having long hair with the side bangs, all of that good stuff. But yeah, not Jang Ling Ho. Jang Ling Ho for me should always be out of Hong Dian, and he should just let go of the wigs, honestly. This is my personal opinion. So obviously I was like, this is one of the rare opportunities to see this man without a wig. I was anticipating this, but I was equally as worried about it. So yeah, let's see how that turned out. This is a drama that is to have a total of 32 episodes. I have currently watched all 21 released episodes, which should clue you in to my feelings and thoughts about this drama. Now I want to actually talk about this without waiting for it to finish to do like a full review, just because of the current, word on the streets going around for this drama. Overdue, we follow Morong Chinyi in his life. He was swapped as a child, and in the family he was swapped into, he wasn't treated well. And then when he found out that he was swapped, they eventually exchanged back. But because his mom is like some psychopath, and because she didn't raise him, she despises him, looks down on him, and pretty much mistreats him. And he ends up going abroad to study medicine, comes back, is living away from family, where he meets the main female character, Ren Susu. They have this very brief thing, but then they're also separated by something, and that separation, because of that separation, leads to him going to prison for like 3 years. So now he's out of prison, and his family wants to get him engaged to the family that put him in prison. It's all really like drama. And he finds out, okay, that Rensusu that he loved, that separated from him, that he thought was dead, comes back into his life as his brother's fiance. First, let's talk about the AI intro. Not cool, not a cool move to play. And I just really love that everybody kind of called it out and they listened, because it's just such a silly and also like really lazy thing to do, especially for a C drama intro. Like, yeah, there's some intros that are highly curated, they're like hand drawn, hand painted, but most times C drama intros is just a compilation of clips. And that was just really silly. Glad that is rectified. And then the next thing people are talking about is post production. So the visuals, the some people say the OSCs sound so out of place, and apparently the editing. I'm sorry, I cannot see it. I get how the flower field when he was burning it in the beginning could be really goofy when they use AI for that. The helicopter scene, I was laughing, my belly was aching me. I remember vividly I was making this hair when I was watching that episode and it was just so silly to me. It looked so strangely fake because they kept flying and having this conversation. And then sometimes they'll show you that the plane is above the cloud. Then when they want to show you the audience perspective, the plane will just be there hovering below the clouds. But they've been flying for so long and they've been having this conversation for so long. But every single time they show you the audience perspective, the plane is in the same place. Should I think do people reference when I want to talk about how lazy and like just bad post production is? Diving scene, I mean, they didn't do enough research for that. I guess, like, what can I say? I don't know. I was really into that scene though when it was going on because I thought that interesting things were happening in that scene. I feel like apart from the AI flower scene and the helicopter scene, every other thing is pretty much done well to me, to be honest. Like, if you guys have other examples, oh yeah, I keep on seeing the whole aspect of her looking at that guy from under her hat. I thought that added a layer of tension. And then like I like the way the director, if it's not giving us close up in your face shots of these characters, because he's always doing that. I'm sure he knows that they're really pretty and like people are a huge fan of their visuals. But oftentimes it kind of gives us like this perspective. There'd be like a piece of furniture or some candles or something or a fire going on, and then we'd be seeing them through that lens rather than seeing them head on with those things in the background. I really like that, to be honest. I don't know, it just adds this mysterious layer to it. I kind of like it. I can't even lie. Okay, but outside of that, I think the production of this drama is fine. It's not even as bad as I'm trying to think of a drama that I thought badly edited, where scenes were just jumping around, the same continuity made no sense whatsoever. I'm thinking Legend of Female General, which I really loved. A drama like Melody of Golden Age, which I also really loved. This is better than those in terms of how it's filmed, how it's edited. In my opinion, I'm not an expert on any of these things. It's just what I see. The helicopter scene doesn't last all through the drama. But also, I just want to say that even though I can't particularly relate to the complaints about how this is just memeable and it's so funny, it's so hilarious, it's so disappointing as well, I also can't really complain about these complaints because it's good that people are speaking up, holding these companies to a higher standard. I'm also really loving the alleged embezzlement accusations just because for the longest time I thought I was the only one. Whenever I see a Nollywood movie that is so badly produced and so badly rated and so badly acted, I'm just like, I need somebody to sit down every single time. I always tell my siblings, please sit down and convince me that this is not a money laundering scheme. Tell me that somebody did not make this project just so when they ask them where they got this particular source of income from, they can say they acted this film. Like, tell me this is not embezzlement in plain sight. Those accusations, I'm like, oh, these are, accusations I've held before previously. So, I kind of see where that is coming from. And I'm also just like, we need to actually hold, especially all these directors, producers, to a higher standard because oftentimes it seems like they get hold of really popular IPs with huge fan bases, really popular actors and actresses, and they just don't care. So even though I cannot particularly relate to most of those complaints for this drama, I actually like that this is happening because I just feel it will make them more careful, more reverent of the work they're trying to produce and not just rely on previous popularity to carry the work they are making. And also the OSTs, I really like them. I feel like they're just so right vibe, like for this Republican drama. When it starts playing, I'm always just like, oh, something is about to happen, something is about to happen. It makes me so excited. I know that from my past few videos this year, it feels like I'm always into all the OSTs, but I promise you I'm not. Now that we've covered a lot of the criticism for this drama, this is a really good drama that I cannot put down. Oh my god, this drama exceeded all my expectations. First of all, we are not overly focused on the state of things. Yeah, the main characters, they are in families of armies, families of people that are supplying arms to the armies. That is the background of the main characters in this drama. Obviously, you can tell that something is going on in the background, but it's not heavily imposed in the story. And I kind of just like that because that was like one of my biggest worries. So it focuses more on the conflict between the characters, that's in between different characters rather than between a character and states. They're not particularly glossing over what that time period would have been like, but it's not a central point of the story. The second thing I absolutely love about this drama is the storyline. Oh my god, this drama just feels like a switcheroo for me with Blossoms of Power, in a sense where Blossoms of Power is like really pretty, really nice, lovely OSTs. Like the OSTs in OVERDO definitely cannot compare to those in Blossoms of Power. But the story, not so much foundation, nothing to be had. I think this has really nice characters. You guys know me, yeah. I need your story to be good. If I was just here to see beautiful visuals, I could watch a pictorial, an editorial of the scenery, of models or something. The reason it's a drama is because of the story. So I'm very, very particular. And this story thus far has not a single hole for me. It is way better than I expected. I expected this to be so sloppy because of just the whole premise of his first love is now his sister-in-law. With the way they were always like pointing guns at each other, I thought that I was just going to be so over it when I was seeing like the reuters and stuff. But let me tell you that every single time Morong Chingy pulls out the gun in this drama, I'm over the moon. Like the tension, the takes. Morong Chinye is a very real three-dimensional person. I feel like this is one of Jang Ling-her's first fully fleshed characters. I hate this thing where Jang Ling-ho always has to come out and defend his characters. It's so silly. We are losing the plot so much when it comes to like understanding stories. This is why I don't know, people pick up more books or something, watch more stories that are not your faves acting in them. It is not Jang Ling-ho's character. It is Morong Chin-yi. It is not Wang Churan, it is Ren Susu and Fang Mulan. But his character is a character that has been neglected, abused, looked down on for like forever. Then he was wrongfully accused. He went to prison. He was originally a surgeon, but he was tortured. He can no longer do surgery. So when he's acting out, being rebellious, causing drama, it just makes a whole lot of sense why he's doing all that. And then the FMC is not betraying him for some reason. In a case like Bosom of Power, the poisoning of the crown prince, they kept it so secret for so long. I think up to 30 episodes, and I still don't know who the person that actually poisoned the crown prince in Bosom of Power. But this one, obviously, it starts off with some mystery, like why did she lie? Why did she change her identity? Why is she doing this? But they don't keep you in the dark for so long that they're not relying on our ignorance to push the story forward. You see her, you can really understand her motivations, her feelings for him. I mean, you should really be able to easily understand that, even though, oh my goodness, the comments. You know what you can never pay me to do in this life is to be the female character of a romance Chinese drama. I've been seeing so many comments that keep on being like, oh, she's so heartless, she's so wicked, when all her reasons are so clear, they are so justified. This leg of the drama that we're about to get into, this last 10 episodes, they are upset by the FMC and his elder brother. They are plotting something. But let me just tell you that she didn't want to be involved in this plot. She was quite literally coerced by his brother to be involved in this plot. But all the comments are like, oh, she's so wicked, she's so heartless, agenda or no agenda, the poor brother. But like, he's the mastermind. The girls do not get a break. And it's so crazy because if she's not chasing after him or being head over heels with him, she's a wicked woman, the most evil witch to ever exist. If she's chasing after him wholeheartedly, she's a bird. I don't know what you guys want. The misogyny stinks, it reeks. We need to get over ourselves, seriously. Engage yourself with more stories. Even better, don't be always watching romance so that your brains can but the point of me making this video is to say that Overdue has a really great story, like really gripping. Rong Chinyi is a yearner that yearns. His love for her feels so real and believable because it is not selfless. This is a case of if you treat me badly, I will be resentful towards you. And that is real, that is human. I think that is my favorite thing about this drama is that the main characters in this are really human. I just want to say, okay, if you've been contemplating that you want to watch Overdue, but you're not sure the Republican theme, you're not sure how they're going to handle the whole sister-in-law aspect, kind of, makes you uncomfortable for that. And then, yeah, just like, oh, post-production, you've been seeing all the memes and all. It's not that bad. I'm all caught up, you guys. I cannot remember the last time since this whole summer rush started that I have been fully caught up with a drama. That should count for something. Even the other side characters, they are so fleshed out. They exist as a whole part of the story. Those are my thoughts on these two dramas. If you've watched any of these dramas or you're currently watching any of them, let me know if you have any thoughts that are in agreement or in disagreement with mine in the comments as always. And hope you have a nice time with the dramas you're watching. Till I see you in my next video. Till then, bye.